everybody, welcome back to my channel. So before I start, sorry for the plug, I do have a second channel that I have made, so I'll leave it down below. If you want to check it out, check it out. If you don't, don't. Okay, end of. Right, so today we're going to be talking about my Pretty Little Liars Roman Empire, right? Something that's always on my mind. So I've put together slideshow of just things about the show that I will always remember. Things randomly, I'm just like, do you remember that? Do you know, I think about it all the time. Do you know what I mean? The first one's a combination of two. This is the yellow top and the night that Allison disappeared. Because the yellow top is a statement in time. History books upon history books. Our kids will be reading about this yellow top for their exams at school, because this was a time. This yellow top, the significance this has, people just won't get it. The yellow top is something I always think about because it's hideous, but it's also an absolute iconic style phenomenon. Because then also the night Allison went missing, what a night. Absolutely what a night in history. She went on a world tour. She was there, she was sat, and she was present. Absolutely. You know Dua Lipa, and like during the pandemic she like travels the entire world. That Next up we have this photo. Now this photo is my Roman Empire in a bad way and not in a good way. What on earth? Where do we even start? There's a man here who is their teacher. Why this man is standing half naked in Spencer's house with a bunch of teenagers that he teaches at his school, where he has an underage relationship with another student. I think about this a lot. I really think about this a lot, because this photo is just etched into my mind, and not in a good way, in a very bad, traumatic, what the hell has the show done to me type of way. This text by Mona, right? This was when Mona was I just think everything about it is iconic, down to the full stop that she puts at the end. Call off your techno boy toy, or I tell the cops what your mom keeps in the lasagna box. Are you joking? That's up there with one of the texts of the century. Imagine receiving that with no context. What the hell is that? Shakespeare, he's been very quiet since this text message dropped, and he might be shaking at the thought of having to compete with something on this scale, you know? Your software slays, by the way. Now, whoever wrote this is clearly a girly pop. I don't know. There's just something about it. Imagine being in the writer's room and be like, you know what? I've got a line. I could just imagine them thinking about this for hours. What should Caleb say here? I've got it. I have got it. Your software slays, by the way. I kind of love it. I'm not even going to drag it, because I kind of love it. Then we've got this line. Jenna can't hear us. She's blind. I just think it sums it up, really, if you think about it. Jenna can't hear us. She's blind. Hannah, my love. Hannah, love you. Hannah, you're one of my favourites on the show. I love you dearly. What's going on here, my love? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? I think the funny thing is, at first, I didn't clock that I heard her say this line, but I didn't actually clock what she said. So now whenever I go back, I don't know, this is just something that I quote. Jenna can't hear us, she's blind. And unless you were there, unless you were sat front row at the concert, you don't know this. Yeah. Sometimes when I'm sat with different people and I say this quote, they're like, and I'm just sat with the wrong people, because if you don't know, you don't know. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Then we've got Emily and Maya. Now, Emily and Maya are my parents, and I would die on that hill. I am so Maya and Emily should have been endgame. This was the only relationship in the show that I think was like not toxic. Do you know what I mean? They were just so good for each other. They clearly loved each other so much, and I think Maya was so good for Emily, especially because Emily was still kind of learning about herself and her sexuality and exploring that a lot more. And I think Maya was someone that really helped her with that. And I think they just needed each other. And I'm so annoyed that Maya died, first of all, with nothing to do with A. And then they can't be together. I'm sorry, I'm not one for Emily and Allison. Like, happy for them, congratulations. But like, this is my Roman Empire, because I think about this relationship every day, and every day I watch Pretty Little Liars, and Emily's with someone new, and I'm like, you're not Maya. Do you know what I mean? You're like, And I just loved Maya's actress as well. Oh, and they're both stunning. I can't believe it, Marlene King. I can't believe it. Then we've got the dollhouse. I think about the dollhouse on a daily basis. I really do. The dollhouse, history books. Yeah, I wish they utilized the dollhouse a lot more than what they did. This sleigh was amongst like the sleighs. Do you know, like Blake Lively at the Met Gala sleigh? Do you like, yeah, that level of sleigh? I loved it. I loved everything about the dollhouse. I love the concept of the dollhouse. And they only used it for like 1.5 episodes. Marlene King, you had a gold mine. Yeah, this was one of the best things that you wrote on this show. 1.5 episodes, Marlene King. Marlene King, let's get back in the writer's room. Writer's strike is over. Let's rewrite this and we do it all again. Get me in that writer's room. I've got some really brilliant ideas. Extend this. Yeah, extend it. It's so poetic. Using the girls as dolls and then building an actual dollhouse with like their actual rooms. Right, then we've got the masks. This mask with, what was his name? Archer, Dr. Rollins, whatever. I think during this time on Pretty Little Liars, I think they must have gave up. I think this was, you know, they got into their Riverdale era a little bit, and they might have just given up. And I get it. They made masks of actual people. Like, not the mask here, the Allison mask, that's a different conversation. They made real life masks. This guy had a mask of Wilden on it, and he was like tormenting Allison and making her go crazy. And I just think about this a lot, because where are you getting these masks from? Where are you making these? And the way they just peel it off like it's an episode of like Doctor Who or something. The Allison masks also continue to live rent free in my mind, because staple, iconic. I loved how people in the A-team wore it, people who were Redcoat wore it, because at the end of the day, everything will always go back to Allison. And to have actual masks of her, I just, wow. The iconic nature of that. Then we have Ren turning into a diamond necklace. When this happened during the show, to say my jaw was on the floor is putting it very lightly, because I flabbergasted, stunned, absolutely, I can't think of the words. I don't have the vocabulary. I don't have the access to a dictionary to express how I was feeling. I think about that a lot. I just do. I randomly just think about the fact Ren is sitting in a necklace. It's always on my mind, because I understand the actor was booked and busy, and he couldn't be there to film a lot for the Alex reveal. So I just want to know who sat in the writer's room and was like, how do we cover this up? Because Ren's not here. I've got it. Hear me out, right? There's part of me that wants to say this is a slay. Because whoever thought of this, like that's just out of this world. I wouldn't think of that. Are you joking? But also, Ren was still a bit dirty there. Scary Jessica De Laurentiis. Now, when I said this had me shaking, sobbing, crying, throwing up on the floor, this scared me. Look at that. She's staring into my soul. I can't believe it. When this happened, I was like, what on God's green earth? And I just think about this a lot because when I watched this when I was a child, I didn't really like scary things. Never watched a horror film in my life before literally like a few months ago. Don't like scary things. So when this popped up on my screen, this etched in my brain, my young brain, for a good few years of my life. And I still think about it now. Because although I didn't like it, was very scary. What an absolute slay this is. I'm so sorry to traumatize Allison in this way. I'm really sorry, Allison, but that's real TV. That's real cinema. I'm really sorry. Then we've got Alex Drake. Now, Alex plays on my mind a lot for bad reasons, I must admit. First of all, the British accent. As a British person myself, apologies for that. It's laughable, this British accent. Troyanne, I love Troyanne. Brilliant actress, acted her heart out on this show. The accent was not accenting. Do you know what I mean? And it just plays on my mind that I've got to go get ready. What on earth is that, Troyanne? I'm so sorry. And I love you. I do. This, I think about it a lot. But I just also think about Alex. Because what the hell was that? What the hell was that Alex reveal? Because it wasn't good. I'll tell you that for nothing. The family trees on Pretty Little Lies. Specifically, the Hastings and the De Laurentiis family tree. And the one that stays in my mind quite a lot is the fact that Jason and Spencer are siblings, but also cousins. And I just always think about the fact that Jason started the show with one sister and he ended it with 1, 2, 3, 4 sisters. Yeah, I think about it a lot. Look at this down here between Spencer, Cece and Mary Drake. What on earth is going on in the House of Commons there? Do you know what I mean? Sorry, I'm just admiring it. Because you do have to say it is a bit of a work of art. Because although none of it makes sense and it's very confusing, it is just a work of art. Then we've got this dance. The dance Emily and Hannah did to Bang Bang. Yeah, I think about this every day of my life. Because what was the need for this? I love them. Don't get this twisted. Yeah, I love Hannah. I love Emily. The need for this? I'm struggling to see where this was needed. Then we've got Mona. I think about Mona as well every day of my life because Mona is a real character. Real history was made with Mona's character. I love the actress. I love Mona. And ultimately, she carried the show by herself, single-handedly. If I had to tell you one good thing about Pretty Little Lies, it's Mona. Her kind of one-liners and her just a slay at being a villain is up there with being on the history books and might be the history books of all history books. And we shall be learning about her for the next few decades because that is a real character on the show. I love her to bits. And then we've got the Pretty Little Liars Halloween episodes because these episodes you had to be sat. You had to be front barrier at concert, right? On Ticketmaster 30 minutes before the tickets go on sale. The Halloween episodes continue to be a slay. And Marlene King, you might not get everything right on the show, right? But the Halloween episodes, you must have been paid triple when you were writing these, because every Halloween episode is up there with one of the best episodes on the show. A Halloween Train was my personal favorite, but every single Halloween episode slay. Every single one. Like that's real cinema. Oscar worthy, Emmy worthy. And the intros for these episodes in particular as well. Don't get it sick and twisted, because I think about this all the time. The writer's strike was definitely not on, and they were working. They were slaving away in there. That is it for this little video. I love to hear your Pretty Little Liars Roman Empire moments, in case I've missed any, but these were just my personal ones. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.